And if COVID hasn't taught us anything, it's that you need to know how to make money for yourself, not be dependent on any corporation to cut you a check. You need that. And that is my one thing I told you that the other day for my son is he has to have a business. I don't care if River wants to do entertainment. I don't care if he grows up and says, Mom, I don't ever want to get on TV again. Okay. You know, my one thing as a parent, even if you didn't want to go to school, school is important, don't get me wrong, but starting that business, being knowledgeable and educating yourself as much as possible. So if you got to go to school route to do that, do that. But make sure you're building for yourself.
Yeah. TK. Jersey. I've been on the grind, man, all it took was patience. That money on my mind, man, all I see is hating. He jocking on the low, man, you know the kid is wavy. Like how you mad at me when you know you're fucking lazy. Should've changed.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Health is Key, and you are tuned into the Health and Hip Hop Podcast Show with my awesome co-host,
Composer Brown.
And as always, she's already dancing. But as always, we have an amazing guest. Too much to name, so I'm gonna let her introduce herself. But my girl, Pilar, can you please introduce yourself? Tell people where they can find you too, please, in the beginning.
I am Pilar Scratch. I am a momager to River Mason, my little angel, sometimes. I am editor-in-chief of Fashion Guide magazine, celebrity wardrobe stylist, best-selling author, and I like to think I'm funny, so I'm funny too.
Yes, hilarious.
Thank you.
We're gonna talk about that. We're definitely gonna talk about that. So, if you don't know, or people tuning in, this is our season 1. Mm-hmm. And so this show is just really geared towards just bringing health back into the hip hop community and also just inspiration. Mm-hmm. And so we feel like for our guests or listeners to relate, we like to see who is your favorite like hip hop artist and why? Because some people relate to people by the music they listen to.
Right.
So yeah, who's your favorite hip hop artist?
Y'all trying to get me in trouble. So my favorite hip hop artist is my aunt, Diggah. I have to say her by default because she will kill me. She will find me. So my aunt is my favorite hip hop artist. She was a vast inspiration for me growing up. My twin sister and I, she was in her prime. So it was like we were taking the CDs to school. Like, this is my aunt. Look at our names right here. So my aunt was just like a vast influence in my career now and then. She's just like an amazing person overall. She's like educated. She's just like the epitome of a boss. So everything she embodies, I've just always like admired. So definitely my auntie. Yes. See, I said you auntie. So. Mm-hmm. So
how was that? Like, were you like hearing bars all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Like how was that growing up with Diggah as aunt? Cause like, yo, her bars are bananas. She is a spitter for real, and she's from Jersey. But yeah, how was that growing up? Like, I know you said you were going to show your CDs and stuff, but actually, like, how was that? Because that's awesome.
I remember we met Kanye West before Kanye West became Kanye West.
Word?
Right? Because of my aunt, yeah. And we were all like in this trailer together. Like, I was always around celebrities. Like, I met Q-Tip. I remember we saw Q-Tip recently at a release party he had. And I was like, hey, you remember me? He's looking at me like, I'm like, Diggah niece, and he was like, Nene, she, and gave us hugs, and it was like, wait, y'all, throwback names and everything. So I was always around like celebrities. I was just used to like that lifestyle. But like I said, she was in her prime, so she was off filming 13 Ghosts and Carmen. And I remember I had her number. And I would call, like, pulling through with my friends to, like, prove that she was my aunt. And I'm like, tell him that this is my auntie. And, y'all, it's so cute now because River does that with Madison. Wow. Like, he had his whole class Googling Madison, and the teacher had to call me in. And he was like, your sister is Madison J. I was like, yeah. And he was like, he had his whole class Googling her. And it was like a 360 moment because we used to do that with our aunt.
Awesome.
And they were telling River that Madison was beautiful, so he got mad. It, like, backfired on him, so... Yeah.
Oh, he's protective of
yeah, he was looking at them like, no, she not. Calm down. It was hilarious. It was great.
I'm talking about my aunt.
Exactly. So I don't think he'll do that again. Yeah.
Dang, that's what's up. So before like we even get into like the juicy stuff, we brought you up here because you really taught us, me and Rel, so much information. And we just really, really want to give the flowers while people can still smell them. So we wanted to like just both show you the things that we learned from you. So COVID air hug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, I really learned a tremendous amount of information. Even still to this day, like I could hit you up and be like, hey, can I call you really quick? I have a question.
Right.
And you always answer. So I just really want to say that
And I'd be crazy as hell too.
Yo, son.
No, I'm sorry.
But I really appreciate you. So one of the things that I definitely learned was like just protecting from you and Madison, protecting like my contacts.
Yeah.
That was something that I really, really treasure because I had went through experience with that. But because of you teaching me, like just to protect the people that I know, as far as my use with them and just connecting people, because you may know a plethora of people and you just putting them, and that can really ruin your relationship because you're putting them. So one, I want to thank you for that lesson.
You're welcome.
The social media, like marketing, you really, really put me hip on that and on better engagement, guerrilla marketing.
I feel so
just even having a press kit, like, cause you had like the blue check was. Like, I'm not knocking the blue check because it's important, but it's like now, like people are getting it. But before, it was like hard to get.
It's
and
exclusive.
So it was like super exclusive.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's still exclusive, but it was super exclusive. So you even had information on how to get that. So I just want to thank you. That's just off the top of what I could actually remember. But yeah, definitely appreciate you. That's some of the things that I learned.
I love you guys.
Yes. Do you have anything?
Arms hug. Yeah, there we go. That's our way of affection.
And just also with me, just recently helping me just get together something that I'm putting together. I don't want to share it right now, but just your time as well as just your open arms, just to help me out and just help me to get together what's going on. Just giving me the homework, giving me the leg work, as well as,
And we haven't had a session in a minute, Ro.
Yes, I'm in trouble, y'all. But, just making sure that I'm present on social media, even though I haven't been as much as I really need to, but just gaining that information as well as being able to take care of your child as well as going and getting your grind. So just me taking that in and me being recently a graduate of school, just learning how to balance that as well as just continuously just pushing through, even though you got so many challenges going on. Like, it's just amazing. So we just really, really thank you.
I love you guys.
Yes, thank you so much. Like seriously, seriously. And if y'all don't know, like it's a cheat code, I guess, because we all went to high school together.
Right.
But still, though, you don't have to give us that information. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. So
we're family, guys.
Yes. I thank you so much.
You guys are the people that were there for me before it was Pilar or Scratch. So I always remember that. And when I was in a dark place, always had an ear and shoulder. Because I get crazy, so thank you for tolerating me. Because I go from 0 to 100 and it's be wild.
0 to 100.
It's true. But I love you guys and I will always appreciate you. You guys are making me emotional.
Thank you so much. Nope. So Celebrity Stylist, best-selling author, Harvard business student, mom to River. I know I'm missing some things. You
could put TV
magazine, magazine. Fashion Guide magazine. Can you just take us down the road of Pilar?
The road of Pilar. I started my career in 2010. I was pregnant with a 5-foot little boy that is very sarcastic. So I was pregnant with him, and I remember I was in school. I was going to Union County College. UCC. And then I was 19 and I found out I was pregnant. Backtrack before then, I decided Anywho, my son's father now, we were together and I remember I had this idea. I always, would make my clothes and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I want to start a fashion line. And he's like, I think you could do it. And we were like playing with names and stuff. And it was out of Scratch and it was out of Eccentric. Y'all. It was not going to be what Pilar Eccentric, like that's stupid, so I was like, all right, cool, we go with Scratch. And I remember being in his basement, like sewing clothes, and he was going to school for accounting, so he pretended to be my accountant. He stole $20 from me too, y'all. He still owed me that to this day.
He stole $20.
That's right, I'll never forget. I want my money.
Gave my $20.
Gave my $20. So basically, I started off the business there. I found out I was pregnant at my first fashion show. My aunt came out to support. It was at the Coffee Cave, downtown Newark. You remember? Rel was there. Rel was there. He had on the Rugrat shirt. Yep.
Shirt, yes, I did.
History. He been there from A1 since day one. And we had at the Coffee Cave downtown Newark. It's where the Whole Foods is at right now. It was that shop there. I used to work there. I used to stand outside and sell soups just to get a $54 bus card to get back and forth to Union County College.
Wow.
Like that, I would just stand outside in a freezing cold, and I'm anemic, y'all, so that's a lot. And I would stand out just selling soups. Like, I would sell soups. Good? I'll start over, okay? I would stand outside to get a $54 bus card just to sell soups outside, and I would sell it, and I would be cold, and it was crazy. So I had my first fashion show. It was a mess. The models' foundation didn't match their necks. They were like pink and blue. They had like, you could see they black bras. You know, no one had Spanx on. It was, you know, but just, it was horrible. It was I'm a realist. Y'all know I keep it honest. It was a fucking mess. But it was my first time, and it was me growing my wings and doing it. And, you know, I just remember finding out I was pregnant and just trying not to let that affect my show. I did have I don't know if y'all watched Degrassi, but y'all know how dramatic they are where they slide down the wall when something goes. I did that. I did the Degrassi slide down the wall, and I was like, what am I going to do? So I decided that I was going to keep Riri against a lot of people telling me not to. And I was like, you know, I'm going to do this. I don't know what. I knew 3 things in life. It was, you know, my career, the career I was supposed to have. I knew I was supposed to have him, and something else that didn't happen yet. And if it happened, I'm going to tell y'all. But, you know, 3 things I knew for a fact in life without a question of a doubt. And they all seemed crazy. Like, no one else saw it, but I knew in my gut that this is what it was supposed to be. Decided to have him. The boyfriend left me, dumped me because I didn't want to terminate the pregnancy. But now looking at it now, it's like he was scared. He was a child himself. He was 22. Even though I had it rougher than he did. Oof. You know, he had the security blanket of a family where I didn't. So once River was born, I didn't speak to him, had my baby alone, everything, went through my pregnancy alone. It was very depressing. Like, it was, you know, I lost a lot because that was my best friend. And then I had the baby, and then that became my best friend. Like, my son is my world. So River, I started off as a designer, and then it just too time consuming. I had this infant. You know, what the hell am I going to do? We were homeless. We lived in a shelter. So we were there for a couple months until I saved up enough money to get my own apartment. And I was like, I can't be a designer, y'all. I can't chase after this little crazy, crazy baby. And, you know, so close. I was like, all right, I'm going to just be an image consultant. My aunt gave me my first gig. I started working with a lot of major celebrities. And I was with one person that I don't like, and y'all know who that is, and I'm not going to name them. So I was with him for years. And I was like, I don't want him to define my career. I want to branch off and meet other people. I literally was on Instagram networking and came across Barbie Beach, and she was the manager for Patricia Field at the time. I said, I need an internship. Can you help me? I remember being at this internship. I put River, you know how I don't know what it's called, the African swaddles. I put him on my chest and would literally organize clothes, and I just wanted to be around her greatness, her icon, to study her. Dope. And they were so impressed with River because he wouldn't cry. He would just sit there. As long as you fed him, he was good. Like he is right now, y'all. He over there, but y'all don't know that. Like you fed that kid, he was fine. So it was just, you know, from then I met Ty Hunter at an event. He started following me on Twitter, and I was gassed. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, I met him through. I got a chance to meet him just from you too, from you in Madison. Thank you for that too. I forgot about that.
You're welcome, girl. You're welcome. Ty is
let me
literally
come
family.
to the Sean D. Ross event here.
Right. I'm literally about to talk about these crazy people now.
Yes.
So Ty, I met him. He followed me randomly on Twitter, and he just DM'd me and said, I love your style. I love your work. Who are you talking to? Like, I dressed Beyonce and got a picture with Obama, you know? So he's an icon, so I got really souped. And then I met him, like, the next week. I was at Chef Roblay's premiere party that, I was doing wardrobe stylist. I was wardrobe styling on set, so I was invited. They wanted me to come out, and, I was getting my feet wet. I didn't know nothing about this entertainment industry, so I went, and Ty just walked in the door, and he just spotted me and smiled at me like, and I'm like, hey. So he came over to me. He's like, Pilar, honey. I was like, you know who I am? Like, and since then, we've been, like, inseparable. You know, that's my brother, Ty, Sean, like, family. And I'm grateful because being in the entertainment industry, I was around people that were very humble and came from very, like, humbling stories and taught me humility. You know, we're talking about an iconic fashion figure that dressed Beyonce for everything. You know, Patricia Field, who is Sex in the City. Like, you know, I studied these people who were just humble when, you know, I worked on reality TV sets. They were the nastiest people you could ever meet in your life.
Wow.
But I'm around real legends with real long money, and they're humble. And they're like, God gave me this, and he gave it to me today. He could take it away tomorrow. So treat people with kindness. And I'm happy that around my, you know, origins that I was exposed to those type of people, because in this industry, it's demons out here. It's negative energy. It's horrible people out here. And you don't want to get caught up in that. So I was able to stand on my own feet, and I didn't want to swing on nobody because I have a temper. So I was, you know, I'm happy that I created my own lane, you know, and just being in the entertainment industry. I would just get on line and tell my story. I was working with this major artist who is an icon, and I was homeless, living in a shelter with my baby, and it went viral and it took off, and then I just got all of these followers just from speaking my truth. And I think transparency, I think I'm like the people's celebrity. Like, they feel like they can reach out to me. I'm there. And I'm honest. Like, I don't care if it's not what you want to hear. I'm like, nah, that shit look corny. You know, like, I'm going to give it to you as is. I'm very organic like that.
Super.
And
Super.
And so, like, that, I just always wanted that to be like, you know, just be as transparent as possible, be as real as possible. And it has ultimately paid off through me having my career, dragging this little kid on set with me, because I was broke, y'all. I couldn't afford a babysitter. Like, I was, you know, in a shelter, collecting food stamps with this little baby. And guess what? He got to come with me. So he going to be trained on set, and he going to learn how to sit there and be quiet. So I remember just being on set. We were in California, and they were like, we don't like the kid we're working with now. We just noticed your baby. He's so handsome. Can we use him for this commercial? And I'm like, yeah, what you talking about? Like, just take that boy. Baby. You know, like, absolutely. So, and that's how River got his first big, you know, gig. And he would always go to fashion weeks with me. I remember him being 3 years old, sitting front row next to Tommy Hilfiger. And he's like, you having fun? And he's like, no, I want some Chipotle. Like, talking to Tom, like, you know, and it's like, he don't know who these people are. He's just used to it. Or being on set with Music Soul Child and Music, like, River, come take a picture with me. And River like, no. River acting like he the biggest person in the room. He like, well, I'm Music. I'm River, you know. So it's humbling. You know, it's humbling to be around all these amazing people. And I'm just so happy I haven't really encountered that many dark souls, and that God just blessed me on a path with people who are like-minded and like-hearted. I think that's important, is to be around people who is equally beneficial. Like, you know, Madison always say, you got a cow, I got a goat, I need milk, you need this, let's exchange.
Facts.
So I'm happy that in my origins, like I said, I was exposed to great people, and I have great organic relationships with these people. So, yeah. That's just a little bit of me. That's not even all of it. That's
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Bro, you want to touch, because you put up Music Soul Child.
Yeah, music.
Yeah.
That studio session that we had, it was out in the Bronx. It was just amazing and just humbling for me, because just seeing and having relations with you as far as friends, just seeing your grind and just seeing your origins, where you came from, as well as the fashion show. I remember that like it was yesterday, as well as the picture that we was able to take.
Right.
It's just amazing just to see how far you have come. So for me to be in the studio with Music Soul Child, me composing music, it allowed me to just see, like, okay, I'm in the studio with music, but I still want to be humble. And one of the crazy things that I seen from that night, besides seeing your aunt pen her own bars, like, that was amazing. Like, to see how fast she created her bars, it was just phenomenal. Like, wow, I'm in the studio with Music Soul Child as well as Diggah. So as well, shout out to Cayenne, as well as I forget her producer name. Excuse me. I think
Wait, Cayenne was there too?
Yes, Cayenne was
Madison
there.
had
Cayenne was there.
She
as
had
well.
invited us.
Cayenne was there.
She had invited us to the studio with music. She needed us to take your aunt to take Diggah. So I'm like, yo, we in the car. I'm like, yo, we in the car, Diggah.
What?
Y'all should have picked me up. I started rapping with y'all. Like,
We like, yo, we in the car with Diggah. Like, oh my God.
You know, she wasn't acting sedated or anything like that. She was just real cool. But I think his name is Shatik, the producer.
Okay.
Just seeing that he like had hits with like DMX and whatnot. But I remember I had went to SOBs like a couple weeks ago, and I was, just seeing Cayenne, but I was trying to get my email out to him. Like, I'm gonna send you some beats. Remember my email address. And come to find out, he was in the studio that night. So he was like, yo, I remember you.
Right.
So it was just great, just gaining a relationship off of that. But that was just amazing, just to see how giving that you and Madison are.
Yeah. Madison's her sister, y'all. Her twin sister.
That is my twin sister.
Amazing.
Unfortunately.
We always talk about that night of us getting invited because that was an amazing night.
That don't happen often.
Yo, I will forever remember seeing a session with Music, Cayenne, and Diggah. That was fire. So.
I should have came. I could have been laying bars down. I could have been the next
so
big
fun.
thing and just start, you know.
So fun. Yep. So speaking of relationships, like you're really big on that. Why is that important? Like as far as especially coming up, why is building relationships important, or is that important?
It is absolutely important because you can know, like you said, a plethora of people. But if I have an organic relationship with someone, I can easily, you know, for me, like I represent a lot of startup companies. For me, it's very easy to get product placements in like Ty or Tara Wallace, anybody from Love and Hip Hop. But, you know, it's easy because of the relationships that I have. And they know vice versa. They could come to me. And it has to be in this industry, it's so important to be transparent on your intentions. Like, say it up front in what you want and see how we can barter. When you're sneaky and conniving, you don't get a lot. You know, you don't get far like
Facts.
that. You have to be upfront and always make sure every relationship is equally beneficial. I don't care what relationship it is in life. You know, if you're in a relationship with a man, if you're pouring love into this man and he's not reciprocating, you would tell your friend to leave. I take that component with all relationships. Like, I don't care if we're in business, but I'm in business with my 9-year-old child, you know. I give, you give, and we fill each other up. It's not just I'm drained from just giving to you. So relationships are essential. Relationships will open doors that degrees can't, money can't. Like, you know, I can literally be in the same room as Beyonce tomorrow because of a relationship, you know, and that, you know, there are people that I know that have MBAs and they have these vast educations and degrees and they're impeccable people. They're educated and they're working at ShopRite because they don't know how to get their brand off the ground. And if COVID hasn't taught us anything, it's that you need to know how to make money for yourself, not be dependent on any corporation to cut you a check. You need that. And that is my one thing I told you the other day for my son is he has to have a business. I don't care if River wants to do entertainment. I don't care if he grows up and says, Mom, I don't ever want to get on TV again. Okay. You know, my one thing as a parent, even if you didn't want to go to school, school is important, don't get me wrong, but starting that business, being knowledgeable and educating yourself as much as possible. So if you got to go to school route to do that, do that. But make sure you're building for yourself. And organic and transparent, being organic is essential to building relationships. You can't be a fake fuck because people spot that a mile away.
Facts.
You know, it happens all the time. People want to be around me. It's a very lonely road at the top, but people just want to be around you for your money, your network, you know, so, you know, just building and being transparent and having organic intentions and just, you know, it's very important. That can make or break you, you know, like seriously.
So do you keep that same mindset when you're interacting with your followers on Instagram or any social media platform? Because we see that you're very open, you're very honest, you're very transparent, not just with the people that you know, but also with the people that, you know, follow you and see you on social media.
I literally had a girl hit me up on social media. Well, 2 people actually yesterday. It was so funny. One was an old client. One girl just called me like, hey, I just need some fashion consultation advice, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? Just call me. I gave her my cell phone number. She was so sweet. And she told me a story. And I gave her some solid advice. I didn't charge her anything. I was like, this is what you do. I was like, this is my personal cell phone number. When you revise your pitch, send it to me. I'll look over it for you. Just because she just wanted help. She didn't have a budget, but she just needed help. And something in spirit moved me and told me, help her. Why not? You know, Ty did it for me, you know, like give back. And the other girl, she was asking me about an event she was going to. She was scared. It was her first industry event. She was going to this big event. She didn't know what to do. What should she be expecting? And I sent her a voice note and I told her. So that's what I say I'm like the people's person, you know. I like to be as honest with expectation. I'm like, look, if you try to make a sexual pass, girl, nip it in the butt, take somebody with you, let him know it's not that. This is strictly business because they will try it, especially if you're a cute girl. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like people that are stuck up in sedity and act snooty because what? Because you're on a show? Because what? You dress celebrities? That doesn't make sense to me. You're human. I bleed like you bleed. You know, you never know when someone's going to be in a higher position than you tomorrow. So get off your ego. You're not better than anyone. You know, if someone genuinely needs help, fucking help them. What the fuck is your problem? I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all like cursing.
No, you good.
Like, you know, I'm so big on helping people and just giving back because that's so important. And I think we missed that. I think we missed the component of giving back and actually pulling one another up with us and, you know, just wanting to see each other win. There's room for everybody at the top, you know, like why can't everyone be here? It's because people have superiority complexes. They want to feel like they're better than people and you're not. Like, And I'm that person that tell you, like, fuck you, you know, so.
Of the clapbacks.
Yeah.
So speaking of the clapbacks, right? Because the clapbacks be real.
They be real.
But are they, okay, so I know before you were vegetarian, which I definitely want to touch on first, but I want to touch the clapbacks. I'm talking about that. But I know you were vegetarian, then you were vegan. Are the clapbacks the same as a vegan? Are they even hitting more? Are they more
I be
calmer?
hungry, so.
Are they more calmer in the vegan lifestyle?
I think
than
I'm
the
calmer.
vegetarian?
I think I'm, right? I'm calmer. Y'all think I'm calmer?
Some clapbacks you be saying, I'll be like, yo, like, you be like, yo, I'm not one of them celebrities that don't clap back, but I clap back. Like, so
I be ready
I just want to know
for-
if it's different. I mean, if it hit a little different, or if you like, do you let more things slide being vegan, or do you still be like, man, nah, you getting this
It
sauce.
depends on if I ate, y'all. Like, I gotta be honest, because I be hungry. So I be like, y'all, they gotta really leave me alone, because I always, like, I'll call, like, my mother or my sister, because Madison is really good at channeling her anger and, like, calming down. So I'm like, Madison.
Yes, yeah. Yo, that's crazy. Y'all are like day and night. Like, she is really the calm one.
She is.
And then you're like this fire.
I'll be like, Madison, I'll be starting the conversation like, all right, boom, am I tripping? Like, and then I go into the story. So, like, she does a really good job at, like, all right, I breathe, Pilar. She's like, all right, you're not tripping, but please don't kill nobody. Like, and I'm like, ooh, I'm ready to get him, you know? Like, so it's funny, you know, it's really funny. But I think I'm calmer, like, with, I want to say, not even with, like, being a vegan or vegetarian, just with being a mom. And I don't want River to think it's okay to toss somebody out a window, or, you know, I want to set an example. So I don't want him to respond in a way, like, I'll try my hardest, y'all. I will literally try. I'll sit there. If I get quiet, just know I'm thinking about ways to end you. So I'll literally get quiet, and I'll just be like, all right, let me just take this. Like, and they're like, hello. I heard you, you know, like, and I'm thinking of a response that's respectful. So I think that came with being a mom and having to show patience with him, because, you know, you're teaching him how to react, and I don't want him, you know, going out there just busting somebody up. So I think I'm calmer because of Rivy Poo. So I'll say that. And I would never do anything that would separate me from my son. So, yeah.
Wow. So as a mom to an amazing young man, how are you able to constantly or consistently juggle being, you know, a career mom as well as just being a mom for a young man that's on the Forbes list?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My baby did make that Forbes list.
Yes.
He owed me a check. When he make his big first million, I want my 15%. Yes. But caffeine, let me I drink a lot of caffeine.
To keep you going.
It does. I don't know. Shout out to caffeine. If I ever get like a big Oscar or something, I'm gonna like shout out to whoever, you know. But I don't know, like coffee, not even joking, but coffee, and just I want him to see a work ethic. Like, I want him more than anything, more than being in entertainment. This is just what he's good at. Like, I think people fail to realize that if he was great in sports, a parent would naturally nurse that career of sports, you know? And I think people more so understand it like that. My son just happens to be an amazing actor with an amazing personality because of me. And this is what he's good at. This is his passion. He's getting booked. Directors love him. He's really easy. He's an easygoing kid on set. So he's been over there quiet, hasn't said a word. He wants to, but he knows better. But so he's an easygoing kid. He's literally been trained for this, and that's what directors look. He has a look that is very, you know, he stands out in the crowd. So he gets booked based off. This is what he's good at, so that's why I'm nurturing it. Listen, my son had made a book last year, The Sky is the Limit.
Yes.
And it made Forbes during COVID. It was on Forbes, and they did a write-up on it.
I read it yesterday.
I know, right? I was so proud.
Yes, I read it. I was so,
you know, and I edited the book. I did everything for it, and just to show him that there are different avenues of passive income. Not just modeling, not just acting, do everything. You know, if you wanted to start a clothing line tomorrow, we can do that. If you want to start a chapstick line, we can do that. But passive income, I'm teaching him how to make multiple streams of income. My son knows how to write a pitch. He knows marketing. Like, he knows all of this. He started...
we know it from the information.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all, this boy started a TikTok page and got like 200 followers. I'm like, River, why you got so many followers on your page? I didn't know he started under a different name. He like, oh, from what you showed me how to do on Instagram. And I'm like, delete the account. Like, you know, so he's learning, and these are essential components because we are in a digital era. It's essential to know how to make your own website. It's essential to know how to run social media. It's essential to know how to run ad placements. It's essential just to know how to make money for yourself, how to make $20, you know. So these are the things that I'm teaching him. I'm nurturing what he's gifted at. And if that changes, listen, he's amazing. He's amazing. So it's like whatever he wants to do in life, he has the foundation of my support. I don't care what it is. As long as he starts his own business, I'm good. So that is what's essential to me. But balancing it all is very difficult. It's very like I do that thing where I rub my face and I get irritated, but you got to get going because essentially it's about showing him a work ethic, showing him that no matter what dream you have, you can accomplish it. And there's been so many people that came to my son by himself and tell him, oh, you need a backup plan. Oh, you need to talk it to a 9-year-old. Wow. Like my son is a Forbes 30 under 30. He placed 67 out of 300 people on Forbes 30 under 30.
Wow.
And you're telling him he needs a backup plan.
Wow. Backup from what?
His career in entertainment. And I'm like, he's more than just an influencer. He gets he's getting braces for free. And that would have cost us like $5,000.
Wow.
So it's essential to me to show him this, to show him that there are ways to make money, and it's not just the standard way of doing it. You can break the mold and do your own thing, and I think I'm a great role model for that. So it worked for me. No matter what your dream is, pursue it. Go after it with everything you have. It's your dream. God gave it to you for a reason. Pursue it. And no one's going to ever tell my son he can't do anything, because if this boy wanted to fly right now, y'all, we building wings.
We building wings.
That's right.
I love that. So speaking of just juggling everything, I know that you recently have come down and lost over 120 pounds. And so I wanted to know, congratulations. That's beautiful and awesome and amazing.
Y'all, I didn't even know I was that big. In my head.
When you're there, right?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know, because that wasn't your size when we were in high school.
No.
And so where did that come from, and how did you get to where you're at now with that, where you're down 120 pounds? Was it the pressure of working?
No, it was depression, period. I was going through a lot with the baby daddy. And I was
building
pregnant.
the career at the same time?
Yeah, I was still building. It was in 2015, and that's when I gained all the weight. I was pregnant again. I lost the baby at 6 months pregnant. And we were just going through so much. Y'all know the roller coaster ride we have. And it was so much. I started drinking beer. Y'all, that's not me. That's not me. I started drinking. I didn't even drink.
Right.
And I just got really depressed. And I started working a day job. I was like, fuck this industry. I just got really low, and I wasn't feeding my creative passion. It was just a dark place. I no longer wanted to be here. If it wasn't for Riv, me looking at him every day, I don't even know if I would be here talking to y'all. I was so depressed. And what made me change is one day in April, I looked at myself in the mirror. My stomach was so big. Was so...
Beer do that too. I'm not sure how often you're drinking it.
I drank the Budweiser margaritas. I had 2 of those this big a day.
Wow.
A day. It was bad.
Wow.
And then I wasn't trying to go to the hospital to get help for my depression. And even after I had River, I was clinically, postpartum depression. But, I don't know if it was technically postpartum depression or just my circumstances. That was a traumatizing experience. Right. Who wouldn't be? So in 2015, it wasn't any better. I felt like I was in the same situation, roller coaster ride, and I just put on weight on top of that. So I was like, all right, I'm still a vegetarian. What can I do? And then I saw Madison starting to waste away being a vegan, starting to turn into a little pencil. And I'm like, all right, let me try this. So I started April of 2017, and it just started falling.
Wait, hold on, question. Because it's a health show.
Okay.
What were you eating as a vegetarian? Was it still cheese? And
I still ate dairy. I'm a cheeser. Whoa, cheese is me. Ugh, I was a cheesehead.
Cheesehead.
And so, I was a cheesehead. So I was like, what? Y'all, you must be disgusted. Y'all ready? Don't judge me. Promise y'all not gonna judge me.
Promise.
Tori?
I'm girl, bye. The judge had been out the window a long time ago.
Literally, I would eat a box of Domino's pizza by myself. It was that bad.
What size?
It was a medium.
I was big too, so I understand.
It was a medium. It was a medium.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, okay. But I'm 5 feet, y'all.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. That's still a lot of food for a woman. A whole pizza is a lot. It is.
Yeah, I only ate like that when I was pregnant.
But was it often though? That's the thing. Doing it often is definitely a lot as a woman, because you have a different body type than we do. We look thick.
Yeah,
thick. You know
I live right down the street from a Domino's, and it was probably every other day.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a lot.
It was cheap. It was $7 for the pie.
Yeah, and it tastes good. Well, I don't eat it anymore, but it tastes good.
Girl, I was feeling a void, and it was just such a dark time, and just me, my mental health was so important. That's when I got really big into spirituality, and I just started meditating more. River and I would go meditate under a tree, and we do our chants, and I was just aligning myself. I needed something different and higher to believe in and to hold on to, because if I wouldn't have had that, I don't know what I would have done, you know. So I just got big into spirituality and, you know, just having more faith in God and just trying to be present in a moment, enjoying the moment. And I was always hard on myself because I didn't really grow up with a family. You know, it was just Maddie and I, you know. When we moved back up here, we didn't have, like, our mother was, I don't want to bash anybody, but our father was off. They had their own families. We were the ones that no one wanted. So, and then when I got older, fell in love, you know, with this guy that I was massively in love with, then I lost that family too. So I felt like, you know, I didn't have a family growing up, and now I created a family, and now I can't even have that either because, you know, what the fuck did I do wrong? So I was literally taking that out on myself.
Wow.
I was literally like blaming myself. And it was like, you know, I remember holidays, my father's wife would try to invite us down. They would treat my son some type of way, get all the kids gifts, not give him anything. And I'm like, you're not going to mentally fuck up my kid.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was bad. So now Thanksgiving, guess what? River and I, we cook. We put on that John Legend Christmas album. We watch our Christmas movies, and we make a day of it. So Madison started coming over the past 3 years, y'all. And she loved it, and I be cooking. And it's fun.
So you make a vegan Thanksgiving?
I make a vegan. River loves it too. And my son's not a vegan. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we started our own traditions because we were the odd men out. And now it's like, because we're the successful ones, they act like we owed them something, you know? So it's like, I don't, you know, all I had was, you know, my son or my crazy twin sister, you know, having my back. And I made my own family in the entertainment industry. I know it gets a bad rep, but like Ty's my brother. I know no matter what, he'll have my back, you know. When I was fighting for my son's career last year, Ty wrote a letter to the judge. You know, I'm Beyonce's wardrobe stylist, and my uncle, Rahman Muhammad, the deputy mayor of Newark, wrote a letter. There were so many people. The executive producer, Janice Torres from HBO, really good friend, wrote a letter. So it's like, I built a family. I built a family out of people in the entertainment industry.
Like
exactly. And they're all organic. And I know no matter what, I can go to them and depend on them. It would never be a situation like me and River would be homeless and living in a shelter again. I know I have family. Ty's like, yo, when you coming to California, you moving out here still? Because you come stay with me. You don't even got to look at an apartment at first. I'm like, Ty, you know, like soon, I promise soon. But after COVID, then he wants to like not put a thumb down on my shit. Like, what you mean? I gotta, you know. But River is homeschooled now. It's a lot, y'all. But so I built a family, and when I realized that it doesn't necessarily have to be a traditional family. It doesn't necessarily have to be me, my son's father, River. When I started coping with that and understanding that, you know, everyone's different, everybody has their own situations, but I was just blaming myself for a lot. You know, no one wants to be a single parent. No one said, especially when you're in love and you set out and you're in a relationship with somebody, no one sets out to be, you know, a single parent. That's not, you know, if I have to be a strong, independent single mom, yes, absolutely, I'm going to be that for my kid, but. You know, so I did blame myself a lot for it. And that's where, whew, y'all, I got big as shit and y'all ain't tell me, and it's okay. It's cool.
I really, what's so crazy is, I didn't even notice it like that until you lost it, because I don't know, just the way you dress, because you have hips and breasts and
the way you're shaped, like we're naturally like this. Yeah. So I
wasn't even like noticing it. Like I wasn't until I saw the picture.
You're like, wait, P, what? I'm like, girl, it was bad. Like, yeah, it was horrible. It was really bad.
Especially when you're around, you know, loved ones all the time. It's like if we see a loved one or one of our little cousins or something like that, where, you know, they was gone for about 3 months and then they come back, it's like, whoa, you got tall. Like, even when you was at your size while we were in high school, you don't pay attention to that because all you doing is just kicking around your loved ones.
Right,
so
it's true.
You're really not zoned in on that.
It's true. Well, I didn't realize it till my stomach, I sat down, that shit was out like here, and I was like, but guys, I am getting my tummy tuck. I am. I know, like, they reached out to me. I'm planning it for January. It's going to be my birthday gift to myself. It's completely complimentary, so shout out to Ghost Plastic Surgery. That's what's up. I'm getting my tummy tuck because I have a lot of extra skin on my stomach. I'm just being pregnant so much, honestly. And then having the extra skin from when you're bigger. So I think I'll be more comfortable when I get that, and I'm really excited and I'm really happy. They bet not touch my body shape because I think it's perfect. It's like what girls pay for. So, but I'm happy that I've decided that I am going to go get that. Like, just from coming down from being that big, you know, and it's really hard to get that off. So I'm like, y'all, it's going. Then y'all gonna see me like Madison on the beach in Puerto Rico, like in a 2-piece. And I'm like, hey, y'all. Nope, not caring about COVID because I can show my stomach. You see? It's rational.
That's right? What's up, yo.
It's rational.
That is what's up. So as far as the book and chakras too, because that's basically what this book is about too. Like you and Madison, like y'all really know about the chakras. How did you, I know you said you got into spirituality with, you know, just finding yourself and coming out that dark space. So how has that helped you, like the chakras, and can you go into detail about that for the people who don't even...
The chakras are the main energy points in your body.
Okay.
And there's more chakras, I believe, in your feet and in your hands as well, but those are like the 7 main chakras. The day I found out about chakras is funny because we were at Keene. We're at Keene University. I remember I was coming from New York. Yeah.
Dang, I remember coming to Keene.
You remember Keene, the Keene days, right?
Oh my God.
Y'all, nobody went to school there. Like,
we go to Keene.
nobody went to school there.
We filmed in Keene.
Yeah, that was it. They said nothing. They probably thought we were students. Nothing to us. We just was there, like eating in a caf, like outside. Like that was the spot.
I'm dying.
Yeah,
we really got some throwbacks.
That was the spot. So I was coming from Keene. We were at Keene, and I was coming from New York, and y'all were already there. And Fuego was there too. So I was meeting y'all there, and I had got off the bus to come or whatever. And I remember I was in New York, and this like weird psychic lady stopped me, and she was like, "Are your chakras aligned?" And she started like spinning all this shit. I'm like, "Bitch, get out my face," right? So, but the word that stood out to me was chakras, and I'm like, what is this crazy woman talking about? So I Googled it. Like, I Googled it. I wanted to know. And that's how I learned what chakras were, because this crazy woman was all up in my grill. And I remember coming telling y'all about it. Like, this woman was all up in my face. This is obviously before COVID.
This was a long time ago.
A very long time ago. And that's how I learned about it through her. So shout out to her. I don't know her name. Saw her one time. But maybe she was a messenger to tell me about chakras. But they're the energy points in your body of what you need to heal. I need to work on my throat chakra because I was blacking out on people today. So I need to learn how to talk to people. And I know that's something, the book basically shows you, it simplifies spirituality for children. It shows you mantras you could do, use activities you can do to align that chakra, which foods to eat, things like that. And you could journal about it every day, because River will go to school talking about chakras and stuff, and all his kids are looking at him like, oh, what? So I wanted to make it fun for his peers to know what it is too. And it simplifies it. It's not, spirituality gets a bad rep. It's just about naturally healing your body. Mm-hmm. God gives us herbs, and, I don't believe in like medicine, like from a doctor. I believe that God gives us herbs and plants and things that naturally heal ourselves. And this is just showing you how to align. That's what spirituality is, using what God has placed here. Mm-hmm. And it gets like such a bad rep. So once I dissected that and understood that, I'm like, wait, this is true. And they use horrible terms and scary terms to scare you away from the natural shit that God gave us. Mm-hmm. So when I looked at it like that, and y'all know how the system is.
Yes.
So you take away that Band-Aid, and what's look, Dr. CB, what happened to him, Anybody that tries to get too involved in the truth, we see.
Right.
Nice.
So, but this is just a natural way, and it simplifies it for children, because I wanted River's peers to be able to understand it, what he understands. Like, he's been saying, I affirm, I'm going to make $1,200. Literally, y'all, my son has the power of word, and he's had it since he was a baby. I said, River, how much money am I going to make today? He said, oh, you're going to clear $1,200. I was like, all right, bet. And I will literally clear it. So he knows the power of affirmation. He knows the power of his words, and he's known it since he was younger. And he's done nothing but manifest his career. We were walking in Times Square. Fred, the godson, had just did an event, and rest in peace, Fred. That's like my brother. And he had just did an event in Times Square, and we were walking out. It was me, him, Jacquees. Like, it was crazy. We were all acting completely crazy, like just happy to be around one another before COVID. And so River looked up, and I was like, which billboard you want to be on, River? Which one? He said, Mommy, I'm going to be on that billboard right there. And I said, really? Literally down the street, a bigger billboard he was on like a month later.
Wow.
Yeah, and I kid you not, you can ask my friend Tamika, Riley's mom. Mm-hmm. She was there. She witnessed it, and it was crazy because like a month later, he was on it for a Christmas ad. And it was like, it's powering your words. And he told me, he's like, Mommy, I used to think you were crazy when you say that. But then everything started happening when I would say it. Like, if he said something negative, I'd like, rebuke that. He'd be like, I rebuke that. I didn't mean that. So he knows there's power in his words. So I've been teaching him that since he was a kid. Yeah.
And how old is he now?
He'll be 10 in January.
Wow. I wish I knew. I did not know the power of my words at that age, or anything about chakras at that age. What?
It's important to teach your kid, it's very important to teach your kid and to educate them as much as possible. I'd rather my son come to me and be educated than he's going to get the information out there in the world. Right. So you might as well, I'm your safe haven. Come to me. I don't care what it is, how awkward it is, how, anybody else might deem it. We just had this conversation. Somebody else might deem it inappropriate, but no, if my son is interested in knowing about a topic, I'm going to educate him to the best of my ability. And that is my job as his parent. I'm not against talking about anything. River knows it. He knows I'm gonna get mad, but he knows also that look, let me tell my mom because I need to figure this out. And I'm like, we have that type of relationship, so I'm happy, proud of him.
Did that open relationship help to foster that open communication that y'all have, or that's just something that just came over time by you just learning different things and you would just share it with them?
I feel like we grew up together. I know that's weird.
No, y'all really remind me of like brothers and sisters.
Yeah, like I was 19, Tori. I was a baby, and I've changed so much throughout the years. And so, like, we really grew up together. So I'm like, no, I want him to have this amazing childhood. He's gonna have this amazing childhood. So everything I learned, I'm gonna implement in him. And if he researches this on his own now, because he's actually interested in it and knowing more. So it fostered the relationship because we have such a transparent like communication, like it's always there, and it will always be there. I will always have, no matter what. He was mad at his dad last weekend. I told his dad hit me up like, oh, let me keep him for like an extra week or whatever. I'm like, okay, sure, do it, buddy. And so River and his dad get into an argument, and I get a call from the house phone upstairs. River's under the blanket talking about his dad. His dad's calling me talking about him. So it's like y'all need to work on the communication, and try to, but I just feel like just having that open communication, that open line of communication, no matter how mad you are with your other parent, you could call me and I'm always going to be available. I don't care if I'm on set. I don't care if I'm on a plane. We could all fall down. My son calling me, like, so I'm literally.
Plane.
That's right. I'm going to be available. I'm there. I'm here, So he knows that I will stop. He's the most important person in my life, and I will stop anything to speak to him, no matter if you're tattletelling on daddy, if you, mad at Auntie Maddie, I got you, I got them, so he knows, like, we have a very transparent, very open relationship. I'm not afraid to talk about anything because I think if all parents adapted that quality, like, your kid should come to you first and tell you about anything. Like, we were just talking about the sex talk and how some parents feel awkward with that. Why? Why? Like, I'm going to tell you, like, I was just saying, like, what you want me to sit here and tell my kid Santa Claus and a fucking Easter Bunny are real? Like, no, I work hard for that shit. Like, hell no. Like, you want this fat white man to take credit for me? Absolutely unacceptable. So I'm just honest. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to lie to my kid. Like, I literally just had this conversation today. I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to lie to my kid. I'm going to tell him the truth. I'm even tell him where I'm wrong. I remember one time I lied. We were out in public, and I lied. And River went along with the lie with me because he knows not to ever question me like that. So we got home, and I was like, I lied today, River. He's like, yeah, I noticed. And I was like, let me tell you why I lied. And I explained myself. And I was like, I apologize for lying. I shouldn't have did that. But this is why I did it. And I was like, it doesn't make it right, but I do owe you an explanation. Because he's a human. His feelings are valid. His presence is valid. And you're teaching him from a young age that he's valid, and he knows he's important. So I don't know. I didn't have anyone around to build my self-esteem or even explain to me. I hate that whole because I said so. Bitch, no, explain yourself. Like, they here for you to explain to your child what's going on. But I got that theory from Mindset on Increase, my best-selling book in Barnes & Nobles and Walmart, guys.
Say it again.
My book, Mindset on Increase, Barnes &
Mindset
Nobles.
on Increase, Barnes & Nobles.
I explained how I started my career, how I got, how everything happened, and I explained the why factor. And it was River was on a gate one day, we were waiting for a bus, and I said, River, get down. He said, why? And I got irritated instantly. I'm like, why am I getting irritated? I was like, River, if you don't get down, you're going to fall on the pavement. You're going to crack your fucking head open. We're going to have to go to the hospital. You're going to get stitches. Don't you hate needles? They're going to put a big-ass needle in your head. He said, I'm down. And just like that. That was the why theory for me.
So that just opened your mindset to that.
It literally, him being on that gate like that, and I just explained what would happen, and it painted a really gruesome picture for him, and he was like, she's right. Let me go ahead and get down, So from then, that's like how open I am with him. Like, I believe all parents should be like that. Your kid should absolutely be your safe place. No one could ever try to do anything sneaky or anything with my son because he's going to come and get me, and I am a pit bull. You don't want that. So, yeah. Oh, I love you, Rivy.
So, just touching back to stylist. No, fashion designer. Then stylist, then image consultant, or is that kind of the same thing?
It's all like the same thing.
So to Fashion Guide magazine, right? I've noticed in some of your posts, obviously it's about fashion and things of that nature, but you also are always promoting for businesses to get some press. Yeah. So like that's so dope to me. So what is actually your vision for Fashion Guide? I mean, because it definitely seems that it's also to help up and coming businesses. Because it's not like obviously you can get press, but it seems like you really, really, push that for us to be able to do that and place ourselves openly,
and affordably.
So so what is your vision? Was that part of it, or how what's your vision for Fashion Guide?
So that was the foundation, was to highlight the creatives. And I've been a single mom who had to jump over turntables to get to New York City because I ain't got money. So I've been there. I know what it is to start a business, I know what it is to start a startup. So essentially it was, I wanted to merge the entrepreneur with the celebrity. I remember our first fashion shoot, we did Mama Jones from VH1. I completely didn't tell the staff who was coming. And this was in her prime, Mama Jones, Jim's crazy mom, So they were coming on set, and then she walked in the room and everybody just like, oh my God, Mama. Did the same thing with music, So it was like, there was someone there that had a Blogspot page to cover as press, and there was someone there from TMZ and CNN. So I wanted to merge. I wanted to give all creators the opportunity, because in this industry, there's no foundation of that. You're either paying a publicist $3,000-$4,000 for a monthly retainer, or you're going to grind for years building your name in this entertainment industry, or you're getting scammed out of your money. I wanted a safe place that, I could go on set. Evan's been on set a couple of times. It's like a party, y'all. Like, it is so much fun. Like, we all link, we all just have a good time. What happened?
It just reminded me of the ambulance story. I don't remember. It was a story. I don't even know how I was bust out laughing because it was a crazy. I don't remember. It was a crazy story that happened. Maybe we can talk about it after.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
I got y'all. That was the Amara La Negra photo shoot.
Yeah.
Y'all, that shit was crazy.
I'm sorry. You just remember when you said party and I just remember that story. Like, my bad.
No, it's true.
Got you.
Okay, so so basically I just wanted it to be the foundation for all creatives to merge and to use their creative abilities and to get a chance to work with their favorite artists, because no one's providing that platform. Essence is literally charging you $5,000 for a page spread, So that's why we've been Amazon's best-selling magazine 3 years in a row, and we won the iHeartRadio Prosperity Award last year.
Dope.
So so I just want to keep creating that foundation. We haven't been able to do it because of COVID, and I have like some dope celebrities I want to get shot, but it's just like I'm scared. So
Gotcha. Health reasons. But that's amazing, because it shows that it really is better to give than it is to receive. Because the more that you learn, the more that you've been through certain experiences, you constantly want to continuously just keep giving back to people. And you can see how y'all are reaping those blessings. Like, seriously.
Nah, facts,
Forbes 30 under 30.
He's movies. I see him in movies, commercials, videos,
True.
So.
Y'all tell me, owe me a check. Say, pay your mother.
Pay your mother.
Hey, mom, dude.
That's
so
right.
real.
I have a question. So, as far as some of the advice that I've gotten from you, as far as for social media, I really see that you have followers, which is great, but you have amazing engagement. Like, can you give some tips on just people who are up and coming on how to get engagements? Because I know a lot of people care about followers and things of that nature, but engagement. Can you touch on that for just advice for up and coming people, or just people trying to build a business and get that? Because you always have dozens of comments and support and
I respond to everyone. I think that's a big thing, is to respond to everyone, to engage through hashtags, like go in your target market and just go and leave emojis on people's pages, leave comments on people's pages. And before I post a post, I make sure because the algorithm is so fucked up right now, I make sure I go in and say, oh my God, you look so beautiful. Oh my God, slay, girl. So before I prep before I make a post so that my numbers are high. When I don't want to post content, I'll put a funny meme up that is like really relatable, or I just thought it was like really funny. I literally go in, and you have to interact with your followers. And even if you don't follow them back, go to people that are following you, go to their pages and just show love, because they'll continuously show you love when they see that you're supporting them as well. And I literally follow 7,000 people. I can't follow no more, but I really try to support everyone, because it's so important that I'm engaging with people, and so important that I'm supporting people, because I know what it is to be unsupported. So that's essential to me. That is very important to me, is to show that love back, and to, just reciprocation of energy, put out what you want to get back. If you want a strong audience, you have to be someone's strong audience too, not just celebrities that, these people ain't never gonna meet. So.
Definitely.
You ever thought about an autobiography in the near future?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Oprah gonna call me, and I'll,
There's a lot of content that's going on.
Yeah,
we
I talk
didn't
to
touch a
Oprah.
lot. We touched a lot, but we didn't touch a lot.
Yeah,
You know, so.
yeah, we could be here for hours, y'all.
Facts.
Y'all know I talk too much.
What's some advice? No, not excuse me. Ask that. Sorry. What is like one of your pet peeves that people may do, or just if they just pop up in your DMs? Is it just seeing a DM and not emailing? What is a pet peeve? That
I welcome
someone
all
up
that.
and
First
coming-
off, people that don't like DMs, you stupid. Like, I'm gonna take business, and then if I'm busy at that moment, I'm gonna say, look, I'm busy. Either email here, my assistant can get back to you, or give me I'll circle back to you in an hour. Hit me back up in an hour, so I'll just remember, and it's on the top of my feed. You know, I welcome all forms of communication, because if you don't, you're missing out on money.
Facts.
You know, welcome it. Like, I don't understand it. Oh, email me. I said, okay, bitch, I'm right here. Tell me your prices. Like, what's the problem with that? You should be ready. Even auto responses for emails. Like, if somebody interested in advertising, I literally have a tab in my emails that's a response, automatic generated response. Like, oh, you were interested in a write-up? Here you go. Copy and paste, because I'm on the go all the time. I'm on flights, I'm in the airport, and people just randomly email me, sometimes interested, and I email them right back, you know, instantly, because I already have it orchestrated. The responses are there, you know, and they're custom, because I've dealt with this for 5 years. I know the response. So, you know, you gotta, you know, be welcome to all types of forms of communication, because some people don't have Twitter. Some people are on the go as well and just want to slide in your DMs and say, hey, you know, how much is this? You know, they just want to scope it out. So I'm going to be instant, just like you're instant. You need to be, as a business owner in this new era, and this, if COVID didn't teach us anything, it's adaptation. We need to learn how to adapt to this digital era and be welcoming of it. So shutting people down with email me this, email me that. What if my email was 93 raunchy girl and I don't want to email you? That's stupid. I want to talk to you right here, have a conversation. Like, be welcome to all forms of communication, because that's going to stifle your career. You know, like if Skims is going to direct you to their website. Oh, you could place an order here. Like, you know, all these other brands, adaptation. You have to adapt with the times, and people want instant responses. Oh, okay, what's your Cash App? Make sure you got a Cash App on here. You know, we take all forms of payment. You know, that's just how it is. You need to learn to adapt. People that do that aren't adapting, and you don't know the longevity of their business. So adapt to all forms of communication. Like, if you want to call my office, I hate being on the phone, but I'll call you. I'll talk to you. You know, hey, girl, it's Pilar. Oh my God. You know. So we're gonna talk, you know. I welcome all money. So
I feel you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for coming up here. Do you have any advice for just women? Because I know, like you said, you had a baby at a young age. Then you were in a shelter, and you got yourself out of that, and now you have this wonderful career. And do you have any advice for just women who feel or may feel stuck, or may feel like, oh my God, I have a baby, and feel like their life is over? What's like some final advice that you could give for any woman or anybody or any woman, or even if she's not a mom, just owning a business and feel stuck, a person in a job feels stuck? Like, you know, what's some advice you have for just that feeling of confusion, stuck, feeling like your life is over? You know, you have some last
always plan for the best. Like, always plan for what you want in life, like whatever that best is for you. If it is starting a job, it is getting married, plan for it. Write it down. Literally, I have my books that I affirm in. Every season I get a new book, and I write down everything I want and that I'm going to accomplish by the end of that season. You know, I have short-term goals and I have long-term seasonal goals. Write it down and work towards figuring it out. If you could spend 2 hours a day figuring out your purpose, then just dedicate those 2. I don't care if you're on a commute coming home from work, listen to an audiobook on your way driving home, or, you know, study marketing, Pinterest, Google. Use all of those universities, because that's what I call them. Use them, utilize them. We have such vast quantity of knowledge at our fingertips with our cell phones. We're in this digital era. Take advantage of that. You know, take advantage. Every second you could be learning something, or you could either choose to stay stagnant in a job you hate and, you know, not using your child as an excuse, you know, or you could get up off your ass and do something. Do something about it. You know that. You've been training people. Get up off your ass and do something. Progress once a day, even for 10 minutes a day, is more than just sitting on your ass not doing nothing. Like when you're working out and getting healthy. You know, so take 2 hours a day to just dedicate it to your purpose, whatever that is. If you want to get married, 2 hours of Tinder, but, you know, just do something to move towards, you know, what you want. Don't stay stagnant, and don't use anything as a cripple, you know, like keep going. So you got to keep going.
Yes. Anything you have, bro?
Just keep being awesome.
Thank you.
Just
You
keep
too.
being awesome, man. Just, you know, allowing your presence on social media just to keep on teaching, because it's very, I want to say, healing when you can see someone going through traumatic experiences, but not afraid to be able to share those traumatic experiences with 100K, over 100K, you know, worth of followers
Right.
and plus more,
Right.
you know. So it's just amazing just to see you grow as well as Madison grow, and how y'all are continuously just helping one another. One hand washes the other.
They
So
both wash their face. Hey!
So can you give one more time your information, who you are, where we can find you at?
I am Pilar Scratch, Pilar, Pilar Scratch, like you're scratching someone's face, and just look for the blue check.
Yes, let's get it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank y'all for tuning in, y'all.
peace.
Love, peace, and chicken gravy.